mucus secreting cell. And look, you have no microvilli on its surface. Why don't you have microvilli on the surface of this cell? Because it's not a cell involved with absorption. The purpose of this cell is to secrete mucus. So it doesn't need microvilli on its surface. These cells are all absorptive cells, hence they'll have microvilli on their surface. It's all about the functionality of the cells. Okay. This slide should become one of the easiest ones to identify, because when we come into the lumen and you see this very prominent basement membrane, and you can see individual hair-like structures, you know these are cilia, and really the only place you see cilia for your purposes is part of the pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium. Alright, so we look at a lower mag. Here's this. The epithelium, actually, let me go up again. The epithelium extends from right here, the dark purple, not this pink stuff, this is the basement membrane here. So here's my epithelium. All this below is another tissue.
What's that?
So here's my epithelium, pseudostratified ciliated columnar, basal lamina, basement membrane, and we'll learn about this being a different tissue next week, okay? The cilia are the dead giveaway. And so when you look at spots like this, you can easily see individual cilia here, as opposed to we saw those microvilli before, it's just a mass of pink staining whatever, okay? Pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium, obvious cilia, very thick, obvious basement membrane. IT is still here, correct? He had to leave and make a call? He's calling for help. I need backup. Yeah. You know, I tell you what, Dr. Svob and I have wished many a time we could call for backup, but it just never seems like that works for us. So, wow. Where's our backup, Dr. Svoboda? It's a good thing they pay us those incredible salaries for like course director bonuses and all that kind of stuff. It makes it all okay. Okay, so this will get us into more of our stratified epithelium. So if I start off at a lower mag, you know, remember, the other thing I want to point out to you guys, listen up, is when you start off with the slides, don't start off with the highest magnification first. Don't go up to 40x, and you'll be sitting there, well, good golly, what am I looking at? He went to make a phone call. So start off at a lower magnification so you get an overall feel for what you're looking at. Okay? So when you look at this, the epithelium here is all of this right here. This is the extent of that epithelium. IT is back, so keep raising your hands. I think help is on the way. Yeah. He's just one man. So just hang tight. One other person's coming. So here's your epithelium from here to here. Obviously that means it's a stratified epithelium. And then what do you look at? The shape of the surface layer of cells. Alright, so when you go to the outer surface of the cells, it's a thin layer of outer cells with nuclei all the way out to the surface. Hence it is a stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified because it's more than one layer. Squamous because of the outer shape, or the shape of the outermost layer of cells.
Dr. Spears?
Yes?
One question. Just like, because on the other side, it kind of looked like, so we just assume that that's all epithelial and it's nothing else?
There is no assumption, it all is epithelium.
But like on the other side, it looked like there's a big thick layer behind it on the kidney, but you're like, just that skinny part was epithelium.
Remember, we're putting pieces together. So most of you won't have a clue what a connective tissue, what a muscle, or what something else looks like. For now, it's just kind of learning what the heck an epithelium is. Okay? Would you not say, looking at this, that this stuff, or this stuff, has a free surface? I think everybody's going to say yes. Alright, so when you look at this, All this stuff stays kind of the same. I know these cells at the bottom look a little bit different, but that's okay. Even if you thought this part, it's still got to be a stratified tissue. What's the shape of the outermost layer of the cell? Squamous. There's nuclei to the surface. That means it's a squamous, non-keratinized epithelium. Okay? Versus okay, if I look at this one, help has arrived.
Start over here.
Okay, when I look at this tissue, okay, keep paying attention to me so we get you through here. All right, this is all one tissue. I know it's bizarre looking for your purposes because you see these purple bands and these hot pink bands or whatever, but all of this is one tissue. These spaces in here are really artifact. It's just kind of shredding because the outermost layer is fully keratinized. So, all right, this is a stratified tissue, and when I look at the outer surface, okay, I see nuclei there, but there are no nuclei on the outer surface of this tissue. This would be your stratified squamous, keratinized epithelium. Okay? Everybody see the difference between keratinized and non-keratinized? Somebody's on nucleus. There are no nuclei.
He's like so excited.
It doesn't matter about what's going on inside. It's what's the outermost layer. And you know, sometimes, remember, you can't just focus on one little individual spot because sometimes it cuts a little bit funky or it cuts different or whatever. On a practical, we would put something like this up where it's very obvious that there are no nuclei anywhere near the surface of this organ. Stratified squamous, keratinized epithelium. Here's nuclei way down here. There's no nuclei up here. Okay?
I mean, I know. I'm not worried about that.
Okay. So here we go to this wonderful tissue. It's got two surfaces. You've got to find which side is the luminal surface versus the other. So here's the lumen out here. So when you look at this group of cells right here, you can see it's a stratified tissue. All right? But what is the shape of the outermost layer of cells? Big, huge dome-shaped cells. Big, puffy, you know, cloud-like, cotton candy-like cells. These dome-shaped cells. Hey, you guys need to let me be the one talking, please. Thank you. Other people can't hear if you're talking over me. These are the dome-shaped like cells that tell you right away that this must be transitional epithelium. Okay? Remember, we said it depended upon if it was a full bladder or relaxed bladder, whether it would look dome-shaped or flattened. The only way we're going to see it is in these dome-shaped cells. So this should be a very easy epithelium to identify. All this tissue right through here is transitional. And remember, it doesn't matter what these cells look like. It helps you with stratification and then outermost layer of cells. Transitional epithelium. So it looks like that in this slide. And then
Does always stratify?
You ask, is transitional always stratified? It's always a stratified tissue.
Yours is 59.
Yeah. So here's one other area where you would see stratified or tissue that was transitional. So if you come in and look at the inner aspect, this is why you need to look at both slides because this transitional epithelium looks different from what it did on the previous slide. But again, when you look at it, these are really large, dome-shaped, kind of these big puffy type cells. Okay, transitional epithelium. You just got to get used to with a view what it looks like, and this should be a very easy epithelium to identify. Okay, so let's take a few minutes, and you do kind of look through the examples of these on your own. I'll come back in about 20 minutes and do the glandular epithelium. So make as much headway as you can on these, and then we'll do glands in just a moment.